So one of my fans just sent me this very interesting video that came out today, at the time of me recording this, by the YouTube channel Good Morning America. The video is called What Parents Should Know About Inappropriate Content on YouTube. One of the channels that they bring up in the video is the YouTube channel Super Mario Logan.
The creator of Super Mario Logan told us he's lost revenue since YouTube started age restricting and demonetizing his videos. He also said Common Sense Media's review was accurate regarding those old videos and that his newer ones are much cleaner in content and made for a wider audience, but adds it's ultimately the responsibility of the supervising adults.
In other words, what the article is talking about is channels that kids shouldn't be watching. And in all honesty, I'm on... Did my phone have to ring during? In all honesty, I'm on Logan's side with the situation. Because Good Morning America is trying to point Logan out as some kind of person that is showing this stuff to kids. But in reality, he's just a guy that's uploading content and kids all of a sudden are watching it without their parents' consent. So now some of you are probably going to be asking, Daniel, why are you defending this person? You made an entire video on him saying why he's bad. It's because I genuinely think he's actually a good guy, and he's in the right in this situation. Also, not to mention that video is poorly structured and it's very, very bad. I honestly think Logan is innocent in this situation because he's been doing this stuff for years and he wants to keep up the spirit. He got his channel popular, he had 1 million subscribers before the demonetization stuff happened, and in all honesty, I don't really think it's his fault. Also, in the same interview, one of the kids says this, and it's something very interesting.
I don't think it's a trust thing. I think it's sometimes the kids, you get drawn in and it's not their fault.
That right there is pretty true. Some of these videos, especially Logan's, are very bright color and flashy. And honestly, I don't really have a problem with that. Hell, I grew up with the Wiggles. So, in all honesty, the kids shouldn't be the problem. It's the parents, and that's what a lot of people are saying. What the parents should be doing is always looking out for their kids no matter what. And they really shouldn't be blaming the creator because the creator is just doing their job, being a creator and making whatever they want. So to those who are parents in this situation and part of Good Morning America, you are making these content creators come out as some evil person trying to show this stuff to their children when in reality, they're just content creators doing their job. I have given Logan a lot of criticism in the past, and I have made a video about him and many tweets about him, but in all honesty, I'm starting to like the guy, and I think the guy is innocent in the situation. Though I may not like his content, I still think that he is innocent, and he shouldn't be treated as some kind of very, very mean-spirited person showing this stuff to the kids, because he's just doing something that he's been doing for the past 10 years.
We showed some of our interview to Common Sense Media.
Developmentally, kids aren't even primed at that age to have the wherewithal to shut off YouTube.
Wait, what does that actually have to do with Logan to begin with? Again, you're making it seem like it's the kid's fault. You're making it seem like it's the kid's fault, when in reality, it's the parents. Also, I should probably mention that you basically contradicted yourself in the same article.
It's ultimately the responsibility of the supervising adults.
And second of all, it's funny and ironic that you call yourselves, this group is called Common Sense Media, when it should be common sense to realize that it's not the creator's fault, and it's actually the parents that are letting their kids watch this stuff. They are blaming the creators for doing this when they never really did anything to begin with. Why are the parents blaming somebody else when they should be blaming their I had to get that off my chest. Now, look, some of you may think I'm hypocritical for doing this because I talked about Logan a lot in the past, saying how he was a bad person. But believe it or not, there's a thing called change. I have changed a lot in the past ever since 2017 ended, and I'm honestly happy for doing so. So, I've had a change of heart with Logan. Alright, let's continue with the video.
YouTube told us their main site is for those 13 plus.
Okay, this bit right here really did get to me. Nearly most of the toy review content that is on this channel is made for 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, or even the 5-year-olds. Why are you trying to put a limit of 13-year-olds when there's content for people at younger ages? In fact, there's even a lot of Blue's Clues related content, even the Wiggles content on YouTube. You heard that right. YouTube is trying to limit a website to 13-year-olds when they literally have an Australian children's ban on there. A children's ban that I grew up ever since I was born.
We created the YouTube Kids app to offer parents a safer alternative.
Oh, and that's another thing. If the YouTube Kids app actually exists, then how come the parents don't just, go on to YouTube Kids instead of the normal YouTube website? That way we wouldn't have this problem to begin with. Again, the parents have no excuse to blame the creator for this, and neither does YouTube. YouTube really shouldn't be punishing these creators.
And ramped up our efforts to age-gate flagged videos on the main app that are better suited for older audiences.
Okay, this bit is really making me mad. It really just goes to show how retarded YouTube is. I'm sorry for using that word. I'm really, really deeply sorry for using it, but it's the honest truth. If you're trying to flag others' videos for violence or sex or things related to appealing to a more mature audience, then why does your age restrict button exist? That age restrict button that you'll be able to see when you try to upload a video has a purpose. It's supposed to hide others who are too young from watching the video. That button there has a purpose. What's the whole point of having the button to begin with if you're going and unfairly taking other videos down that have that kind of content on it? If this video feels unorganized, that's because it is. It is nearly impossible for me to try to organize all of this because this entire situation is so broken and just flat out stupid. Like, why are the parents blaming the kids and the creators when it's the parents' fault? How come the parents just don't put YouTube Kids on instead of the normal YouTube website? How come YouTube is flagging people's content because of inappropriate content when they do have rules for that, plus the age restrict button that is on the actual upload area when you're uploading a video? There are so many questions that could have been answered, and the parents have no excuse to act like this.
Now, it does say on the main site's terms of service that it's not intended for children under 13.
Not intended for children under 13. Under 13.
Which, of course, was news to the parents we spoke with. And in fact, school officials in two towns, Rome, New York, and Brainerd, Minnesota, have warned parents about Super Mario Logan.
Okay, this is the one bit where I can somewhat agree on the Good Morning America article. You see, the kids that were in this interview were somewhere between 10 to 13. Which is very ironic since they stated that the YouTube website shouldn't be for people under 13. And the YouTube Kids app is very limited, and you can't really look up anything, and most of the videos are for children, like 4 or 5? And the YouTube website itself has a lot more content to it. A lot of it Mario-related, Zelda-related, Minecraft-related, things that kids like. I first had this YouTube channel on December 28, 2012, when I was just 10 years old. I've seen a lot of weird stuff before during that time. In fact, I've even talked about it in a tweet in October of 2017 where I was talking about a video that really did scar me for life back in September 2016. And my parents were talking about it. Like, I told my parents about it. And did my parents blame YouTube? No! They didn't. They never blamed YouTube. So even my parents have better knowledge and logic about this stuff than the parents in this article. Also, I should probably mention this. I've been watching YouTube and been going online ever since I was 5. Ever since I started kindergarten. Ever since I started kindergarten, I've been watching YouTube. And if I saw something dark and traumatic or things like that, my parents never blame YouTube, and it's always gonna be my fault since I clicked on the video. You don't see me writing a fucking lawsuit on the creator because they made the video. What I usually do is I just click off the website, wait for a couple days, and then I'll be perfectly fine. Well, for the most part. And I never blame the website. This truly goes to show how low our standards are going nowadays. To the point where we're blaming people that shouldn't really be blamed to begin with.
And YouTube says it has tools to help, though, including filters to block inappropriate content, plus its restricted mode. But tomorrow we're going to take a closer look at just how well they work.
Wait a minute, if you realize that restricted mode actually exists, then how come you're still treating Logan as some kind of evil person showing this to kids? We are now going back to Fox News Nintendo DS child predator territory.
It's that simple.
And we talked about how they're watching one thing and a suggested video pops up, but it ends up being something inappropriate.
Definitely waving things in front of the kids. Waving things in front of the kids.
Bottom line, parents, if your kids are watching something that they shouldn't be watching, never blame the creators. That's just stupid. But I want to hear what you think. Who do you think's in the right? Who do you think's in the wrong? What are your thoughts on the entire situation as a whole? Tell me in the comments. And if you have any other suggestions for what you want me to talk about next, and if you have any fan art that wants to submit to, you can submit them all via Twitter, Discord, comment section below, message board, or in the community tab via the hashtag DLZ Super Show. And if you did enjoy this video, hit the like button, and if you're new, the subscribe button, and the notification bell to be notified whenever